Hey there guys, Penelope here bringing you the Pokemon Narrated Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be a 5th generation RU tier match. This is before they did all the tier list changes where Cresselia was moved up to UU tier. Although if you follow me on Facebook or keep up with my stuff, you do know that I have modded my teams for the new tiers, or at least that I have made my new 5th generation NU tier team. So with all this tier changing and stuff going on, I feel it's a relevant question to ask you guys. What's your favorite 5th generation tier right now? I mean, Hippowdon is now UU, I think, so Sandstorm could be a big issue there, although I haven't really encountered it as of yet. I mean, Rainstall is prevalent in OU. RU tier, you don't have the stalling of Cress or, Yanmega sweeping anymore. So now there's really some time for the dust to settle and to figure out what's going on with what and how the tiers are going to play out and what's balanced and what's not. And yeah, I'd like to hear what's your favorite tier and why, and what tier you think is the most fun and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I don't know who this battle was against, sadly, because it's quite an old battle, but I thought it was pretty good, so I figured I'd post it, kind of a bon voyage for Cresselia. Gonna lead with Cresselia because I don't want to lead with my Alakazam, because I know that if he leads with Uxie and he goes for the U-turn, he could break my Sash, and I won't really get much out of it because I don't carry Shadow Ball in my Alakazam. So I'm just going to go for the Toxic because I know that it doesn't have a Heal Bell unless his Uxie carries Heal Bell, which mine does, or at least some of mine do, but I'm the only one that I've really seen do that. So anyway, I know that he's going to go for the Stealth Rock on this turn, or at least I'm pretty sure, so I'm going to go into my Pharisee just so I can set up the rocks, and if he wanted to go straight for the U-turn, he would take the Iron Barb's damage, which I guess he doesn't care about because he's going to go for the U-turn on this second turn after setting up the rocks anyways, which I guess just to get some switch initiative in case I had opted to switch for some reason. Not sure why I would do that, but whatever. I'm just going to set up the rocks, go into my Cresselia on his Electivire, knowing that I can wall him, and see what he wants to go for. Not really sure what kind of set this is, if it's choice, if it's not. But after hitting me with a Thunder Punch, I do see the Life Orb recoil, so I know that stalling him out is probably going to be my most viable tactic. Yeah, go figure, right? So anyway, going to set up the Reflect. Since I'm choice, I'm going to have to switch out. Go into my Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2 because it's actually a bulk up set. So I know that if necessary, I could easily beat him in a one-on-one encounter. Just going to go straight for the Drain Punch, kind of expecting a switch, but even if not, I think it'd be a very favorable trade for me. And he actually opts to go into his Uxie. Now, unfortunately for him, I do get a critical hit, which kind of matters in the sense that it's going to give me a little bit extra health back and cripple his Uxie all that much more, especially since Uxie has no recovery. Yeah, that kind of sucked for him, but hey, what are you going to do? It's the game. So I thought he was going to have Zen Headbutt on this set, since he had U-turn. I don't know, I usually just don't see U-turn and Psychic, I usually see U-turn and Zen Headbutt, so I thought I'd go for the bulk up, plus I still have my Reflect up, so I thought after the bulk up I would be able to take the second hit, and then I could go for a Drain Punch, Mac Punch with the Poison and finish him off. But since he carries Psychic, that's not going to be the case. I'm going to have to switch out to my Clefable, my Clofu, just to sponge that well. And at this point, I could pretty much go for whatever I want, but just in case he wants to U-turn out, I do go for the Protect, because that way the Toxic will kill him off. And unfortunately for him, he got greedy there and did go for the U-turn. He should have just straight switched out, and then he would have had that Uxie as a death fodder for later, but that's not going to be the case, and that's going to be a quick pickup for me. So I think the score is like, what, 6-5? I don't think I've taken out anything else as of yet. But I'm going to switch out into my Duck GG again, my Cresselia, just to wall this Electivire, get some more damage onto him. Since he brought it in against Clefable, I assumed he had a fighting move, whether it be the Dynamic Punch or actually I was thinking the Cross Chop. Hell, it could have even been Focus Punch with Sub, which I particularly like to run. But hey, he just went for the Dynamic Punch, which this thing doesn't have no guard, so the accuracy is really shaky on that, so it's kind of risky. But I'm pretty sure he's going to go for the Thunder Punch, thinking I'm going to stay in with Cress as fodder, but that's not what I do, so I am able to get some Life Orb and Iron Barbs stalling going on by switching into my Pharisee and then foddering the Cresselia on the turn afterwards, which is going to be really good for me because it's going to put him in a position where I can finish him off with an Aqua Jet with my Quillfish. And I'm really glad that I carry Aqua Jet on Pokemon like Quillfish for situations like this. I'm kind of known for that, or at least maybe I'm not known. I don't know. I think I would be, since I do it on a lot of things. Sharpedo, Quillfish, even Blastoise from 4th generation has a wall. I carry Aqua Jet, and people say it's kind of not that great, but whatever, it kind of works for me. So I switched into my Pharisee. I have no idea why I did that. This battle's pretty old. Not sure what my thought process was, considering that if he had had the Heat Wave or the Superpower, that would have been really disadvantageous for me. And then he makes a play that's just as weird by going to his Blastoise. I'm guessing he did this to try to get a Rapid Spin off or something, so that way his Swellow and his Typhlosion wouldn't have to suffer the rocks. But I sped this part up a little bit. But yeah, Pharisee, in my mind, when I built this team, was kind of made to be a Blastoise counter, since I know that Blastoise is going to be a prominent Rapid Spinner in the UU tier, or RU tier rather, sorry. So yeah, although Blastoise is UU now, that's another change that's happened. But anyway, so I guess he realized that wasn't advantageous for him, although he did get the rapid spin off, and I set up the rocks on the switch while he went to his Typhlosion. Obviously, I don't want to stay in, even though I did go for Protect to scout what move he'd go for, and if he's choiced, he would be stuck in that, and I could have just stayed in with my Ferroseed, but I didn't want to risk it, so I went to Clofoo. Based on the damage, I'm suspecting that he's Choice Specs, but I'm not really sure. So I went for the Seismic Toss on the switch, just going to go for Protect so I can stall him with his own Toxic Orb, which is going to be good for me. And whew, I got a little bit behind here on the narration. Hopefully you guys are able to keep up. I did speed up certain parts because I know that this battle got a little bit long. But either way, going to switch out into my Ferroseed now. That way I can get the Iron Barbs and the Toxic racking up on him, and it should be able to finish him off. And even if it doesn't, I do carry Protect on this Ferroseed as well, which would obviously be able to take him out. So now he's going to bring in his Typhlosion. I go for the Protect just to scout what move he wants to lock himself into. He goes for the safe Flamethrower. So obviously I'm going to have to switch. Like I said, I'm suspecting he's Choice Specs. I'm hoping my Clefable will be able to sponge these hits. But that actually did a lot. So I'm definitely Choice Specs here. And I'm going to go for Wish Protect. I probably should have gone for Protect, then Wish Protect. But either way, I decided to save my Clofoo for later, just in case I need it for whatever. So I'm going to actually switch out and go into my Quillfish. Yeah, by going into Quillfish, I know that I can take at least one hit thanks to my resistance and, you know, obvious type advantage. And then I can get some damage on him with an Aqua Jet. So my game plan is just go for the Aqua Jet, try to get him as low as I can, and that way, since I know that he's Specs and not Scarf, my Alakazam can easily Revenge Kill him. So foddering my Quillfish here, since I don't really think I'm going to need it anymore, since it's late into the game, not going to really need Toxic Spikes or Spikes. I've scouted his team really well. He doesn't have anything stat boosting, so no need for Haze. So just going to go for that. I know that he's going to swap into the Honchkrow thanks to the Psychic immunity given by Dark type, so I'm just going to go for the Focus Blast, which was a great prediction for me, because if I had gone for the Psychic, considering that he has Sucker Punch, it just would have been really, really bad. I probably would have had to go for, like, Taunt and then Encore him into Sucker Punch and then, like, PP Stall, or I could have just gone for a Switch. I don't know, but thanks to that, I am just going to be able to wrap this game up with Alakazam, since he has nothing on his team that can outspeed. And if his Blastoise had Aqua Jet, he'd be able to take me out right here, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't. So that's going to be a good game, dude. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't know who that was against. But for me, particularly, I think that RU or NU is the best 5th generation tier right now. Or it's just, you know, my favorite tier. I'm not saying it's the best, but the one that I enjoy playing the most. I have played OU with Rainstall and stuff, and that's okay, but it's just the same thing as most OU for me. It just gets a little bit boring. I see the same stuff over and over and over. I get to mix it up a little bit more in the lower tiers. And I did actually play with my new NU tier team, and I really, really like it. I will be posting battles of that team in the near future. I just want to get a couple of games under my belt, so that way I can, you know, have a nice bulk of them to post or whatever whenever I need to. And I've also played a UU tier match with my UU tier team modified without the Celebi, because sadly Celebi did go to OU, and I really, really liked Celebi and UU, but whatever, what can you do? And that worked out really well too. So hopefully I'll get a game of that up as well in the near future. And thank you guys for watching. Click that like button if you enjoy. It takes like a second of your time. Not that big a deal for you. Means a lot to me. And that's about it. So yeah, check my Facebook if you want to keep up with updates and stuff. And I love you guys and stuff. And that's about it. So peace.